Got it. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, Vaishnavi, meanwhile, you can let me know when everyone is on and when can I start, okay? You can just interrupt me.
But hey, this is Mitra again. I would just add on to Divya's comments. Amazon and the other e-commerce platforms, even though she mentioned the distinction, which is very promising to learn about the tier 2 cities, they are unaffordable, like particularly Amazon is very bad with small retailers. We have been on Amazon as well. We are a D2C brand. We are trying to get in the market. But the kind of returns and the kind of commissions, it absolutely is not right for a startup, I would think. So thank you,
Yeah,
Divya. I always thought so. We don't sell them yet. But I learned that there are certain A+ categories that we could leverage for them to pay more attention to us. So you could try that as well later.
Yeah, maybe I'll look into it. Thanks, Mitra.
Can I
yeah, that's a
comment?
good insight.
Rakesh
Okay.
sir and Chakri sir, I would like to inform you that we are ready to begin the webinar. So I'll briefly give a welcome introduction as well as I'll welcome you formally to the session now.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Vishnu.
Dear all, welcome to today's webinar hosted by Atal Incubation Center of Coffee Board, a technology business incubator established at the Coffee Board's head office in Bengaluru. This initiative, in collaboration with the Central Coffee Research Institute and Atal Innovation Mission, is dedicated to supporting and nurturing startups in the coffee sector. At AIC-CCRI-CED, we offer a range of facilities and services designed to accelerate the growth of innovative coffee-related startups. Our resources include state-of-the-art laboratories, mentorship programs, funding opportunities, and access to the industry experts. Today's session is part of our Market Access webinar series, which helps startups navigate market entry and sustainability challenges. Through the series, we provide valuable insights about upcoming events, exhibitions, and capacity building programs. To deliver today's webinar, we have with us today Mr. Chakrapani Anumula, founder, IDAN SEO, and Mr. Rakesh Reddy, co-founder of Orange Carrot. Mr. Chakrapani is a seasoned digital marketing consultant with a strong focus on event organization, community building, and strategic brand growth. With extensive experience across various digital platforms, he has successfully helped businesses enhance their online presence and reach targeted audiences effectively. Known for his collaborative approach and passion for empowering others, Mr. Chakrapani is a driving force in building impactful marketing ecosystems and fostering entrepreneurial communities. Mr. Rakesh is a marketing strategist dedicated to building performance-driven marketing systems for the healthcare industry. With a focus on data-driven strategies and measurable outcomes, he helps healthcare brands scale effectively through tailored digital solutions. His expertise lies in aligning marketing efforts with business objectives to drive sustainable growth. We are excited to have them share their insights with us today. We welcome you all on behalf of Atal Incubation Center Coffee Board. Over to you, sir.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Vishnu.
thank you for the good intro, Vaishnavi. Yeah, Mr. Chakrapani, please,
Yeah,
let's
yes.
give your intro and then I'll start.
Right, Rakesh. Hi. So, hi everyone. How are you? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Vaishnavi, are you getting? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm Chakrapani Anmula. So, people will call me Chakri. So, I'm founder of IDN SEO. So, the idea is to start IDN SEO. Very first, we thought that it should be I have done SEO. The people who completed SEO, they should be joining our community. So, then we moved into IDN SEO. The main focus is, as we are a digital marketing community, so the more focus is we want to help them startups should grow in online. We want to see SME should success in digital world. So that's the reason we started doing a in-person meetups and weekend events. Sometimes we do workshops, hackathons. So the basically as a team we should grow together. That is the way we started IDNSO as a community building. And by the way, in startups, I can say community building is one of the lean plan. So maybe you can validate the people and you can get a first customer. So the idea is to get the content creator, marketing pros in our community. They got a customer from the startup ecosystem in Hyderabad. So in our meetups, maybe I can say that's one of the success. The whole point is we want to make sure first customer to from our community. That is the way we started. So till now, almost we completed 140 plus meetups, events, hackathons. We understand the startup problem statements and we give the problem statement tasks to creators and marketers. That is the way whole ecosystem will work. So always I used to say in meetups, single brain will give single idea, multiple brains will give multiple idea. As a team, right? So we can work on the problem statements. So we'll understand. So this is the way I started building a marketing ecosystem in a startup community. So yeah, maybe if you people are in Hyderabad, you people can attend meetup, or you can ask me like anything. So because before starting community, I started my career as a SEO guy. So again, I worked as a IM associate. I used to interact with the content writer and all. So I'm a go-getter. I'm a very active guy in the startup ecosystem in Hyderabad. So yeah. So yeah, this is Vaishnavi. Hi.
Yeah, thank you, Chakrapani.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, Rakesh.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. So Vaishnavi, shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Rakesh. I'm the co-founder of Orange Sky, a marketing agency based out of US and in India. So we serve the clients from both markets. And then I have experience of almost 10 years right now. Like we serve, like, we provided services to a lot of different categories, verticals, B2B, B2C, lead gen, e-com and all. So that's where my expertise lies in, just bringing the data-driven solutions to the businesses. So today, I'm here to talk about the framework. I'm not here to talk about anything else, like how to launch a campaign or what is a quick tactic or what is the low-lying fruit that you can pick. That's not something that I'm going to talk today. I'm going to stick to the framework, and then I'll explain you why a framework is important for any business, especially when you're the startup. So today's journey, I'll just give you the overview so that you understand what would be the end of this webinar. So the coffee marketing pyramid, that's the framework that I'm going to talk about. And that is the hierarchical framework that I came up with, so that you will get a strategic clarity
Rakesh,
on.
sorry to interrupt you, sir. If you're sharing any slide, the screen is not visible correctly, sir. You'll have to reshare it again.
Oh, okay. Thank you for stopping me here.
Welcome, sir.
Okay. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, I just started out. So today's journey would be, I'll explain you here in the first slide itself so that you understand where I'm going to end this whole webinar. So like initially, I want to start talking about why there has to be a strategy and then why there has to be a framework. And then this framework is a hierarchy framework, meaning that starts from step 1 to step 2, 3, 4, and 5, so that you will get a strategic clarity at the end of this webinar. And I also want to talk about the budget optimization strategies on a very high level. And then I'll just take 1 lakh as an example, so that it is easy for everyone to do the math in their mind. And the implementation roadmap, I'll give you the high level overview just for 90 days, what you can do to get the full clarity on overall operations and on marketing side. So like, at the end of the webinar, as I said, why I want you to get a clarity on where you're struggling, and then I want you to have a clear path. Also, I want to reiterate that there are many frameworks that you can refer to. It is not a one solution to everyone, but I'm going to give you one solution today so that you understand at least, okay, this is how it looks like, and then from there, you all can improvise it based on your own problem statements that you're facing in your business. So like at the end of the day, it is all about endless opportunities that are there right now for most of the businesses, especially after the digitalization. With the like affordable internet that we have right now, majority of the attention is going to mobile. So, and we see a lot of tactics, like maybe Instagram Reel or YouTube Short. You see a lot of people, like a lot of influencers, a lot of gurus sharing a lot of quick tips, and then we always wanted to try those tips, and then the, they are not wrong at the same time. If they are not aligned with the whole process of the business, that will just deviate any marketing plan, and then that's where it will become like an endless loop. So, tactical, and then that is what I was just talking about, the tactical execution without a strategic foundation. You should definitely do the tactics, but without a strategic foundation, all tactics, will be just shooting in the dark, hoping that it would work. So that's the reason we should have a strong foundation so that even if you fall, you will fall to the foundation, where went wrong, and then there might be some learnings for you. So, and then I would just say what happens whenever you don't have a strategic plan. Just if you're just doing some tactics, just running a campaign here and there, then what happens is every day you come up with one kind of a tactic, and then there is a FOMO, and then the team that is working with you, it will become diluted because there is no direction. As the captain of the ship, you have to give the clear direction. If not, everyone wants to steer the ship in their own direction because that's what they know. And then measuring impact. Now, some tactics work, some tactics that doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. But if it works, that's where the problem starts because it is very tough to replicate. It is very tough to scale those tactics, most of those tactics. So, and then the final one is the inconsistent experience. Like, you look back, you want to learn something out of all the testings that you have done. But at the end of the day, you get with almost no experience because it's all the tactics. Like, there is no framework to fall back to. So that's the reason why I am giving this framework to you, just to get the overall clarity on where to start, where to end, how to think, and what not to think as well. So, as I said, the tactical trap would be like this. Like, you keep on putting all the disconnected activities, and then all the money would be spread too thin. And then at the end of the day, the inconsistent experience fails any customer's journey. So, like, I'll just give you, this is a theoretical explanation, but I just want you to see so that you will visualize. So brand A, like, let's say there is a tactical approach, like they do good. It's not that it is bad. They have a beautiful photography, regular social media posts, influencer partnerships, high quality content. With all these things, definitely you will get a decent engagement. But the problem is all these tactics at the end of the day would take you a little further, and from there scaling up would be a great problem. But whenever you have a strategic framework, now you have a clarity on many things here. So that what happens is the only one word that I would say is you will gain focus. Whenever you have a focus, definitely you will achieve the results that you wanted to achieve. It is just a matter of fact. So at the end of the day, like a strategic framework gives you focus, tactical framework, practical approach gives you the FOMO. So that's the reason always we have to start with a framework to have in mind. And then definitely the tactical will fall into the framework. So, uh, so I just want you to see this because that's the reason I kept this in a separate slide. I'm not saying that quality of execution is wrong in tactical approach. Now, it is not the quality of execution or the size of investment, but the presence of a strategic framework that connected to tactics to business outcomes. So it is always about whether you have a strategic framework that you can connect back to your tactics. Then only you will, in a long run, you will be running any marketing campaign with peace. Most of the time, even me as a marketer get into FOMO with a lot of stuff going around, especially in the last couple of years with all the AI tools that are linking over there, and then with all the now Instagram, and we lost TikTok now, one less platform, but still there are a lot of other platforms that are taking away the attention. So that's the reason we have to stick back to one strategic framework and then tie your marketing activities around it. So what are the unique challenges? There are some challenges that I was able to think of. Maybe you all can chime in and then tell me some more challenges. Um, so like there are like there is always a tradition and then there is always an innovation and then there is a monkey balancing act over there and the crowded specialty market and then we see in tier one lot of new coffee shops and then there is someone else I forgot the name, sorry, that you're focusing on tier two and tier three, which is really great. But still, like standing out is a problem, is a challenge. And then consumer education is a challenge. For us, coffee is a coffee. Unlike the Western countries, we don't ask for many different coffees. Maybe as Southern Indian might ask for a filter coffee. So there is a less consumer education over here. And then obviously there are a lot of international brands coming to tier one, maybe tier two as well nowadays. And then the regional preferences. A lot of times now, India is a diverse country. There are a lot of different patterns of consumer behavior across different states, different regions. And then always, for any startup, there would be budget constraints. That goes without saying. So a strategic framework is the thing that helps, that helps you face these challenges. It will provide structure, it will provide focus, and eventually, once you have structure and focus, efficiency will fall in place for all of your marketing efforts. So these are some of the challenges that I was thinking. Too many platforms and not enough resources. We want to do a lot, but at the end of the day, there is always short of resources. And then whenever we try a lot of different things on different platforms, measuring the ROI of marketing efforts would be very difficult. And so at the end of the day, it would be a guesswork based on the gut feeling. We go, okay, what's working and what's not working, and creating consistent, engaging content would be a challenge because for a month we post some kind of content, it doesn't give results, and then we see different framework or different style. We wanted to test always different things. That would be a challenge, and then there might be a reel or some kind of content blog piece who goes viral. We get a lot of views, a lot of engagement, but there won't be any actual sales. And then I just want you all to chime in and then just throw any other challenges that you are feeling right now, apart from the 4 that I mentioned. Anyone
can go
else
with
can
that,
mention any other
Rakesh.
challenge?
Yeah, like sometimes when we create content, though we are currently at the content building stage because our photo shoot is yet to be pending. But I still have studied the market. A huge challenge that comes in my mind is to direct these content to our customer clusters. So how, say, suppose we work on Shopify, I understand there are tools to plug in with Meta and Google, but they are inbuilt. However, how do we target to those specific clusters that we want to target them to subscribe to our products?
Sorry, like you were inaudible for the last piece. Can you please repeat?
Yes, sure. So we are at a content building stage now with our packaging being worked out to be ready. So when we understand that Shopify has tools, plugins to integrate Meta and Google for the ad phases of targeting the campaigns. However, in the awareness phase, if we are not having paid ads, what is the mechanism of shooting these to specific clusters that we have chosen our personas from?
Got it. Yeah, now you're in the building phase of content. So whenever you say content, do you mean the text or video, images, or it is a combination of everything?
It's a combination of reels, shorts, everything basically. Content in the sense not only written content, because my question was not about the content, but how to direct that content in the awareness phase to our customer clusters and the personas we have created. Is there a mechanism? See, in the ad phase where we are paying money, Meta and Google have these plugins on Shopify or the website domain, whichever we use it. But is there a way to do it in the awareness phase as well when we are trying to gain some traction with the customers or the subscribers who we want to actually gain momentum with? That was my
Yeah,
question.
yeah, definitely. Like, you have to see what kind of content that they are consuming the most. And then at the end of the day, you have to double down on it.
Sorry, Rakesh, I did not probably come across correctly with my question. So I'm not asking about the content. I'm asking about how to reach that content to the customer clusters in the awareness phase by not making paid ads. If I'm making
Oh,
sense
okay,
at all.
got it, got it. No, no, you're making sense. I totally
Okay, all right,
understand.
fine.
See, the good part with the algorithm changes recently is you don't need followers to now to gain the traction. Earlier, you need to have followers, then the followers will see the content. Now the algorithms are mostly serving based on the user behavior. They got enough data, so they don't need the following count of any handle of any account nowadays. So at the end of the day, I would say see what are the trending topics. If you're publishing the content in YouTube, YouTube will give you the trending topics, and also go to trends.google.com and then see what kind of trends that are going on around your industry. And then try to make the content around it instead of making the content in general or just doing some basic research. And also see who are your competitors, how they are delivering the content for the same topics, and then how you are delivering it, and then try to make it as authentic as possible. And that would be just a matter of time. These algorithms would be serving that kind of content, because even these algorithms need content creators like you to serve the content to the end user so that they can keep them in the endless loop. That's the whole game right now. So all you have to do is the research, focus more on researching the trending topics, and also how you are able to catch the attention in the first 3 seconds to 5 seconds if you are making a reel. That's all it takes at the end of the day. But yeah, it's not an overnight job, but if you keep with this strategy consistently, definitely your content will reach to your your audience clusters.
Thank you very much, Rakesh. That was meaningful.
Yeah, perfect. Anyone else? Do you face any other challenge apart from these four? Yeah, okay. I'll move on, but you're happy to chime in. I don't want to make it a one-way communication. I'm happy to make it a two-way. You can always ask the questions. So here is the framework that I'm going to start with. As I said, it is a hierarchical framework. So it starts from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4 and step 5, so that you know where to start and where to end, at least in the thought process. So why I'm giving you this framework is, as I said again, it prevents the common pitfall of disconnected marketing activities. Most of the startups or any businesses I have seen is a spray and pray strategy, meaning they do some kind of activity and then they pray that is going to work, that has to work, but still without any frameworks, it is tough. And then like you have to adapt to the business, the type of business, and then definitely the strategic frameworks build the gap between very high level strategy and the day-to-day execution. That's where the problem is. Most of them either good at thinking of high level strategy or good at day-to-day execution, but we need to have a proper bridge connecting both of them to get the desired results. And then this framework helps you create the sustainable marketing capabilities that evolve with your business, rather than just pouring the money uh, and then cutting the budgets back on marketing and then again pouring the money. So instead of doing high frequency activities, definitely if you follow this, it will give you a sustainability in all of your marketing activities. So level 1 is the brand foundation and market positioning. See, this is always the basics. So wherever you go in any marketing, this is the basic. Now, if you skip this, it is very tough. And now, most of the times, the basics are always boring things to do. But that's where, I would say, uh, the core of any business lies. If the core is great, definitely you can build around it. It will sustain. If not, one day it will crumble. So, like that's the base of the pyramid that gives you that gives you the fundamental positioning. So the first thing that you have to do is value proposition. uh, if you don't have value proposition today, go back and then spend decent amount of time coming up with a value proposition on, like, what is your unique value, so that the customers has to buy this product from you. Now, you cannot please everyone in the market at the end of the day. So just choose one value proposition first and then see if you can penetrate. Why you need to choose value proposition? That leads you to focus on one thing. And then whenever you are focusing on one thing, definitely you will be cracking that. And the target audience segmentation. Or like you should know, like after like audience segmentation and value proposition goes hands in hand. Definitely, you need to know whom you want to target. Then definitely you know their pain points. Then definitely you can come up with a value proposition to that audience segment. And and then most of the markets are red ocean right now. Red ocean meaning a lot of competition. Blue ocean meaning there is little to no competition. And I believe there is a lot of competition, but still you can do the competitive analysis and you can come up with one or two things that you are doing different, or at least you can attribute to anything, so that you can actually deliver that kind of a value, that kind of a message to the target audience. That's the market positioning that you should be thinking of. And then once you do all these steps, definitely your brand story will get developed. You can craft a narrative around that, and then you can put whatever it is. You can put the cultural values, the social values. See, at the end of the day, we need to create that brand story so that it resonates with your target audience. You can have different target audience, but I would say, if you're in a very early stage, don't try to target everyone. Stick to one if possible, or at least two to three, not more than that, so that all your efforts can be focused onto one or few things, and there is a good chance of reaching out to them quickly. And then you can always think about expansion later on once you are generating good amount of revenue and profits. There is always the scale up comes in mind. So no one is going to stop you at that point. But when you're starting out, don't get into the FOMO. Stick to one. And I know sticking to one is very tough because we see a lot of market uh, on outside, and then we want to capture all that market, but still we need to have that kind of a discipline to focus on one thing, achieve the target, and focusing on the next thing. So I would say at the end of the day, you should know what you shouldn't be doing. So that kind of a clarity you need to get. So by defining these things, definitely you will be getting that kind of a clarity, and you can work on the FOMO factor as well. So, for example, I'll just give you one example so that you understand. Like, let's say the value proposition is making specialty coffee accessible, right? Like, right now we see if you go to any good brand, you say coffee of 300 rupees or 400 rupees, that is almost equivalent to the dollars in the US. But our per capita is way lower here, and then the capacity of buying that coffee would be very low. There might be a small segment. So that might be the value proposition is accessible to young professionals. And then who can be that young professionals? The audience is 25 to 30-year-old professionals only in tier one cities. And okay, where is the competitive brand gap, right? Like, the gap here is most specialty brands position themselves as exclusive or elite. And then that's where there is a gap. And the brand story is democratizing coffee appreciation while supporting the local growers. See, this is just an example so that you understand how to think for your business and how to come up with these four value points here: value proposition, primary audience, where is the gap with the competition, and with these 3 points, how can you craft a good brand story? So this is step-by-step process that you can do. So that's first thing, level one. brand positioning is the most important thing. You got to work on it no matter what. And then level 2 is strategic channel selection and resource allocation. So this is where I was talking about earlier. There are a lot of marketing activities that you can do, but you need to make a deliberate choice to stick to few platforms so that you can make an impact. So the channel prioritization matrix, I'll talk more about it in the next slides, but I'm just giving you the idea of level 2 here. And then if you allocate all of your budget to the channels that you decide, definitely you will make enough impact. And then the content to conversion, like, if you keep on creating content for multiple platforms, it would be very tough. You will get tired at the end of the day, and then it is very tough to convert the existing audiences who are engaging with your content because you are not making enough activities to impact them to convert just from consuming to conversion at that point. And then obviously there is a technology stack. There are a lot of tools out there. And then someone mentioned Shopify. You go and see a lot of apps in Shopify that you get, and then you see the reviews or you see some ad, and then you want to test it out. And then we always be like, okay, I use this tool, and then I'll be getting this kind of an output. And then there is a FOMO over there as well. But sticking to the proper technical stack now gives you the comfort, not only the comfort, but also it gives you the cushion of spending enough money to get most out of it instead of just spending random money on these random tools. So I'll be talking more of this prioritization matrix in the next slides. I just wanted to say why you need to have this channel prioritization is because it will impact the potential impact on your business goals, and then definitely the resources. Let's say if you're working only on YouTube, like every day you think only about YouTube, and then you'll be mastering that point, and then definitely the time that you would be spending is more optimized, and then the budgets and then the skills, everything will fall in line. And then definitely now there is a competition, there is a saturation, but if you keep yourself to one platform initially, definitely you will go to that level where you will be beating your competition. So that gives you the competitive advantage. So, and then definitely you will align with your target audience behavior because you are there every day making content. So that's level 2. Now, just to recap, level 1 is all about the fundamentals, the positioning. Level 2 is all about prioritizing the channels and making sure you are putting enough focus on the channels. And then level 3 is the content and the systems. So any systematic approach gives you the maximum ROI. That goes without saying to anyone. Like there has to be a systematic approach. So definitely we need to have a content pillar. So instead of creating a random content, I was talking about the trends, right? Like the trend can be one trend that you can see. You don't need to create just one topic out of that trend. Now you can have like content team of that trend. You can make a theme out of that trend, and then you can have 10 different content pieces around that trend, so that we don't know. We never know what's gonna attract the users at the end of the day. All we know is it is trending. All we know is this topic is giving more attention by the audience, but we don't know whether the audience gonna like the way we create the content around the topic. So we need to make that trend topic as a theme, and then create multiple pieces of content so that that gives more leverage for you as a brand to attract as many audiences as can. And then production efficiency. So definitely once you have it, now definitely you will get that kind of a efficiency in your systems by repurposing that content. And then always you should have a generic calendar, copy specific calendar based on your region. I wouldn't even say go national level. If you're focusing on one region, maybe Bangalore as a city, or Karnataka as a state, or Southern India as a region, just stick to that first, so that you won't be diluting your efforts. And then definitely you need to have a proper identity system visually. That's what at the end of the day matters. You cannot just have random colors, random call to actions, random guidelines. So stick to one guideline so that that gives you consistency across all kinds of content, image, blog, videos. So now, like few users need to see 4 pieces of content to identify you, and then there might be few users now who has to see 20 times about your brand. So if you're consistent every time, definitely you will be able to achieve that identity, and then definitely that system gonna help you out. So, like, yes, again, I'll be talking more in depth. I'm just giving you the overview of this content. So the theme is now pick a trend, make that as a theme, and then create at least 10 different content pieces and distribute that content piece. Let's say you made a reel. Now convert that reel into a blog text, convert that reel into an email content, convert that reel into like you can put that on your web page as well along with your blog, so that one effort that can lead to multiple repurposing of your content, and then rinse and repeat the same process, so that one or the other way you will be able to attract the audiences. And then obviously nowadays algorithms are very good for content creators. You don't need followers. Don't think about getting more followers. Just think about getting more views. Uh, the basic formula would be sticking to trends initially. Pick a trend, make it as a theme. I'm just repeating it so that um, I'm using different words. I just want you to get this point. Pick a theme. That theme would come from the trends, and then create 10 different pieces. And then from the 10 different pieces, you can distribute that content into multiple formats like reels, regular feed video, static images. Maybe if it is a long form content, you can create many reels out of it, and then writing the blog content, embedding those videos, sharing it. That's where you will find the maximum efficiency. And then definitely the algorithms would pick up because you are talking obviously about the trends. So one example I'm going to give you here, like let's say the theme is Bean to Cup journey. And what they can do is the farm visit video series. Instead of taking one video, you can make that as a series, a playlist of 10 videos. Nowadays, people are interested to watch now 10-hour content that is broken down, half-an-hour session each. Best example is Netflix. And definitely people stick to watch one episode after another episode. I'm not asking you to create 10-hour content, but it's up to you. But if you think creating the content in series, that will, instead of just one odd video, if you create the series, definitely you will gain the attention. People will spend a lot of time juggling between the videos, and also they might find other videos as well. That's how you can gain maximum time of the attention that you want to give. And processing infographics, definitely out of these videos. And then the blogs, definitely that grows a lot. And then the origin story, like the email series that you can actually come up with. So email/WhatsApp that you can share, broadcast, do anything. That is more of a distribution. The production side would be the video series. This is just an example. You can come up with any kind of other pillars, but this is one example. The Bean to Cup journey as an example. You can create that kind of a series, and then that will definitely not only attract the audiences, but also, since it is a series, it will help the users to stay for longer time. Once the users stay for longer time, you give good signals to the algorithms that you are creating good content, and then algorithm itself will fetch more similar audience for you. So your job is to stick to the content that is not only trending, but also creating the content in the series format. So definitely that will help you much more. I'm not going into tactics again. I'm just trying to keep myself very high level here. But as an example, I'm giving you an example so that you can think about what I was talking here when I was saying content pillar. Here, content pillar would be the video series. So just reiterating, the first one is the brand positioning as level 1. Definitely you need to come up with the value proposition, and definitely you need to think about your audiences. Then only you can create a good brand story. Then number 2, at this point, would be you to understand. One second, I'll just go back so that not only me talking, you can see the visual. Uh, the strategic channel selections, stick to one channel initially, Instagram or YouTube or whatever channel that you think would be good. And definitely number three is after sticking to the channel, come up with a content strategy for that channel so that you will make a lot of impact than just stretching too thin in many different platforms. I'm not saying don't post it, but focus on one channel. You can just redistribute the same content in different channels. So I can still keep the audience engaged, but the focus should be on one channel. Level 4 is the tactical execution. So this is what I was talking earlier. It should be a part of strategy, not as a strategy. Tactic cannot be a strategy, but tactic can be a part of a strategy. So, and then translating strategy into specific implementable campaigns with clear structure and integration. That's when you'll understand how this works. And then you need to have a campaign framework, standardized structure for planning, executing, and measuring campaigns. I'm not getting into how you have to do it, but just letting you know, sticking to this, definitely it will work out for you. Because now, even before launching the campaign, you know your audience, whom to target. You already know the value proposition that you are putting out. You know the type of content that is already there that you are creating. All you have to do now is try to push this content through some paid campaign. So that I'm not asking you to spend lakhs of rupees. It is just few thousands of rupees would work initially just to give the boost. And then I'll give you the high level 90-day rolling implementation plan so that you can understand how you can balance the strategy direction with all the tactical flexibilities. And then the cross channel, I know I was talking about sticking to one channel, but as I said again, you can definitely repost the content, thinking only one channel in mind, but just repost the content into different channels. And then definitely I will be giving you the 90-day rolling plan so that you understand where to start and where to end. So the campaign framework, the components of this framework contains objectives and KPIs, and then what could be the target audience segments, the channel specific tactics, and then the content requirements, and then the budget allocation, timeline, and milestone. If I take a step back here, I was talking about the target audience as a level 1, channel specific as level 2, content as level 3. If you do these 3 things before thinking about launching a campaign, then the campaign objectives and KPIs definitely will fall in line for you. So this would become easier. And then all you have to think about is how much money you can spend. It can be 10,000 rupees or 1 lakh or 10 lakhs, or it doesn't matter. The size of the budget doesn't matter as long as you start with 2, 3, 4, and 1. They all fall in line. And from there, even if you run a campaign, even if it doesn't work out, there is a mechanism for you to understand why it did not work out, and then you can always rework on it. And then the timelines and milestones, once you start the campaign, you can easily calculate them. So that's level 4. So level 5, obviously, measurement. See, any goal or any marketing activity without measurement is just a spray and pray strategy. That's it. You should track every single thing. I know the GF4 compared with the universal analytics doesn't gives you that kind of a data, or even Facebook pixel is not working as it used to work now back in 2021 or 22 or even 2019. But still, we got to work with what we have. So we should always keep in mind of measuring of what we are doing. So even before launching the campaign, the first thing that you have to do is make sure there is a tracking in place. Make sure at least the free tools such as GA4 and then the Microsoft Clarity, Google Search Console, and then the Facebook Pixel. These are the a mandatory tracking tools that you should be using. So how you measure, there has to be KPI hierarchy. You cannot just say that, at the end of the day, I'm in a business to make money, so I need to track only revenue. That doesn't work.
Rakesh,
yes, go
I'll
ahead.
just interrupt you there, please. I missed out the tools you named. If you would be please kind enough to repeat them. Facebook is Pixel,
Yes.
I know. Because I'm
Yeah,
taking
Facebook
notes from
pixel
this
that.
class. Yeah.
Okay, got it. See, Facebook pixel that goes for both Facebook and Instagram. Number two is Google
Yeah,
Analytics 4.
that's
Okay, and
Pixel
then number
for
three is
Meta.
Search
Yeah,
Console.
1 second. Pixel for
Yeah,
Meta. Yeah. And then for
and
Google, you said
GA4.
GA4.
GA4. Just go to Google and
Okay.
search for GA4. You will get
Okay.
it.
Okay.
It's a free
Okay.
tool. And then
Uh-huh.
Google Search Console.
1 second. Google Search Console.
Yes,
And you said
Google
something
Search
about
Console is important.
that
Yes,
Google Search Console and GA4 would cover YouTube as well, right?
yes, it covers
Yeah.
YouTube as well, and also YouTube Studio will give you its own analytics.
YouTube Studio. Okay. 1 second.
YouTube
YouTube
Studio is
would
something that
be
you don't
YouTube
need to install.
Studio.
That is a tool that you use to publish. So there is nothing to install over there.
Uh-huh.
But GA4 and Search Console is something that you need to install on your website.
Sure. I'll do that.
Okay.
And they have free plugins, right? With Shopify.
If you're in Shopify, they have native plugins and then that integrates seamlessly with Shopify store.
Okay. Native plugins on Shopify.
Yes, there are. So there are multiple apps. Okay, you can just
I'll
go
check.
with the reputation.
I'll definitely
Uh,
check. Did you mention
yes,
anything other
check into it.
than Meta and Google? YouTube,
Yes,
you said Studio.
I mentioned. There is nothing much you could do there. So it's not a tracking platform, but you can track all your data in the Studio platform itself.
Yeah. But you
So you
named
don't need
another
to
one,
do
right?
anything over there. Yes, another one is Microsoft Clarity.
Microsoft Clarity. Okay, fine. That's
Microsoft
great.
Clarity is also a free tool that
Yeah.
that gives you the user behavior in the form of
Yes.
recordings and then the heat maps.
Yes, sir.
So
So we have
all you
used
should,
Meta
yeah,
and Clarity. So we'll use the GA4 and console then. Thank you. Thank you very
okay,
much.
got it.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, got it. Anyone else? Any other questions regarding that? Okay, you can interrupt me if you have any other question, but I'm still in the level 5 where I'm talking about these tools that track, which is very important. So I was talking about the KPI hierarchy. So I was saying that if you always see the bottom of the funnel, which is the revenue or the leads as your KPI, yes, that's the goal. But if you miss on the process, you can never reach the goal. So there is always a process to reach the goal. So you need to know where to start and where to end. I'll give you that framework right now. So, and then you should always have a reporting dashboard. So there are many tools to have a reporting dashboard. I'll tell you one such free tool is Google Data Studio. It is called Looker Studio right now. Google Looker Studio. That is a free tool. You can combine the data from different platforms. You can see all the data in one dashboard. That is really a good platform for you to start. And then the testing framework. Now I'm not getting deep into it right now, but I'll get into it. The ROI calculation, definitely once you understand the KPIs, once you have the dashboard, you will be able to calculate the ROI. So I'll give you one example of KPI hierarchy. So look at the bottom, right? So first the channel KPIs, right? What are the channel KPIs can be, if you're running Facebook, Instagram, definitely there should be a social engagement. And if you're sending out emails, definitely the send rate, open rates should be your basic KPIs. And then the click-through rate, always click-through rate should be your KPI in most of the platforms, Google Ads or Facebook Ads, because that's the first metric that tells you how many people see your ad and how many people click on your ad. It doesn't matter whether they're converting or not, but at least we know our content is engaging enough for the people to click. And then if they are not converting, then it is not the platform issue. It is more of maybe you need to work on your offer or you need to work on the technicalities, or there are a lot of other things that you have to check. So at this point, click-through rate is one of the most important KPI. And then the impressions, why I put the impressions is because a lot of them tend not to look into it. It is always one of the important metric to start with, because we need to know how many people saw our ad. If not, now we never know if we just keep on looking at the revenue or number of orders or leads. So that's where you start. And then you go a little bit deeper and you need to see the marketing KPIs next. So what are the marketing KPIs? Is definitely once the user lands on a page, we have to see, what is the conversion rate, what is the cost per acquisition, and then see all the different traffic sources and then how they are engaging. So these are all the marketing KPIs that you need to track. So first, it is a channel KPIs, how the channels are working for you. Next, once the user land on the page, then it goes to the marketing KPIs, how those KPIs are looking at. And then you need to see the business KPIs, definitely, which is the revenue, the sales volume, where you are distributing it, and then the customer acquisition and all. So that's how you have to start, and that's how you have to end. So the more you practice it, the more it will become a muscle memory for you at the end of the day. But I'm just giving you this framework so that you know where to start looking at. So that you won't end up keep on just looking at the business metrics first. Like it has to start from bottom to top, the order that I gave you. That gives you a clear picture of where there is a gap and where you need to fulfill the gap. Like let's say the click-through rate is not good, then definitely if you're running a Facebook campaign, your creative is not good. You need to work on your creative. And let's say, if click-through rate is great, but your conversions are not good, then definitely your landing page or your website is not converting. That's where the Microsoft Clarity comes in. It will tell you, it gives you the heat maps. It tells you where people are clicking the most, and then see if that is a clickable button or what is the KPI over there, what value you are providing. So you should be doing all that kind of analysis over there. That's like now, in order to measure all these things, definitely you need to install all these tracking apps. In terms of, now I use the word app because someone mentioned Shopify over there. So, and then you have to then you need to think of anything else. Without measuring, any goal is just merely a wishful thinking. You should always, number one question that you should ask yourself is the tracking on? And as a part of healthy business practice, you should be checking whether tracking is working or not every week. Because now these apps, these codes, at the end of the day, it's just a piece of technology that might stop working any day. If you don't look into it, you might lose the data. Once you lose the data, you won't get it. So always, thumb rule is install all these tracking codes before you do anything, and always check it once in a week. It hardly takes less than a minute to do this work. So, yeah, and I'm spending a little bit more time here on measurement because that's where I see a lot of businesses that I help with. They always say they have a marketing problem, but at the end of the day, I see their basic tracking is not set up properly. So once they are not tracking properly, they don't know what to measure in marketing activities. They are just throwing the money away, hoping few of these marketing activities would work. So always tracking is the most important thing. Yeah. Any questions on this?
Did you
No
mention
questions?
the name
Okay.
as onlookers, Rakesh? The
Looker Studio.
dashboard? Lookup Studio. All right. Thank you.
Looker Studio. So now I'll show you the complete pyramid, how it looks like. So level one, I spoke about the foundations for your brand. The most important thing is positioning in the market. You should always position yourself right, then only you will win the market. Like, if you keep on saying that, your brand, like you're competing with some XYZ brand, just because you know those brands, definitely it is not the right positioning. So you should always be aware of where your brand is positioned in the market. Then definitely you have to come up with a value proposition, define your target audience, then do the competitive analysis. See, competitive analysis is all about the gap analysis, the gap analysis. See where is the gap, and then that's where you try to find the audience, put your value, and that's how you can create the brand story. So every brand doesn't need to have a story right from day one. By doing these things, definitely you can create a story for your brand. So that's how you can think about creating a brand story. Apart from whatever the bells and whistles that you can add, that always helps. But I'm giving you a, a structure to think on how to create the brand story through market positioning. And then level 2 is the channel selection and how you can allocate the resources. Always prioritize your channels. Now, since you're all startups, I would say stick to one channel. Now, like if you are a D2C brand, definitely you can stick to Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Like, if you do a video content, definitely you can repost in other channels as well. But your focus should be on one channel so that you master that channel. And if any one of you are here for a B2B, now no look further than LinkedIn. LinkedIn nowadays is like how Facebook used to work like 10 years ago. LinkedIn algorithm is craving for attention, and then definitely any content creator over there would definitely get good traction. Definitely you have to be consistent, but LinkedIn is another great platform if any one of you are trying to make any strategic partnerships, if you want to be in front of them or in any B2B angle that you're thinking of, definitely choose LinkedIn first. Once you choose the platform, then you and your team obviously know what to do exactly in that platform. And everyone will be talking and thinking about just that platform. So all of your resources will be allocated into one lens so that you can definitely hit the ball out of the park. And then the level 3 is the content. Once you choose the channel, you know what kind of content you need to produce. And then I was talking about the bean to cups pillar strategy, that as an example. So you know the content pillars, and then definitely once you know the content pillars, then you can efficiently produce the content. And if you have the content calendar based on the regions that you are in, definitely that will help you what you have to post. And visual identity should be there. If you don't have a brand guidelines as a basic thing, definitely you should work on the brand guidelines. So that's level 3. And then the level 4 is the tactical execution and campaign structure. See, once you do level 1, 2, and 3, that's where the tactic come at level 4. Then you know what kind of tactics, right? Like let's say you stick to Instagram, and then you are good with level 1, you're good with level 2, good with level 3, and then you see a trending reel in Instagram, maybe a cat video. You can definitely go and do that, because if a user engages with that cat video, come back to your profile, they will see a lot of similar content that is already there. And then that's how you not only engage the user, but also retain the engagement of that user. So that's where the level 4, the tactical execution comes in. And level 5 is obviously the measurement. You have to measure every single activity that you are doing. For that, I just told you a few tools to start with. Those are not the full tech stack, but those are the few free tools that you should definitely have irrespective of what level in the business that you're in, whether you're starting today or whether you're already 5 years in the business. It doesn't matter. You should definitely have those tools with you. So that's the framework to think for you from level 1 to level 5. So I'm taking a pause here, maybe a break. You can think, look at it one more time. Ask me any question if you have on any level. Okay, no questions. I'll move forward. I know while I was talking about the channel selection and content strategy, I told you that I will give you a little bit more information. I'm jumping over there. I'll take another pause. Any questions?
Hello, yeah. What will
Rakesh.
be the,
Sorry.
can I interrupt?
Yeah,
Yes,
please
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
please.
What will be the startup budget planning for campaigning structure?
See the budget planning for any startup, uh, as I was talking about the level 1, 2, and 3. Once you do these 3 things first, then you can start small. Like what kind of content you already created, which channel you're in. Let's say you're in Instagram. Let's say you have a good content pillar. Let's say you have a good team where you are producing for every trend, maybe around 10 pieces of content. Then definitely out of that organic, which one is actually working in terms of reach, then you can start very small, maybe like, 300 rupees per day, put it, not boosting, but the actual targeting, because here I was talking about the target audience value proposition. So you need to put these things into the campaign, then use this content here and then push it out. And then you need to test it out yourself, which one is going to work out for you. So that is what I'm going to talk next. And then how to allocate the budget. That is in my next plan. I'll talk about it.
Rakesh, I'd like to
Yeah.
have like to ask you, which is the most trending, or I would say the cost-effective means channel currently, whether it's Instagram or something else apart from that, which is trending and which is impactful and less cost, less costing kind of.
Right. No, that's a good question that you asked me. So what you asked me was level 4, the tactical approach. Okay. That is what I was talking about from slide 1. Like most of the businesses start thinking from here, the tactical approach. Where can I get the lowest hanging fruit? Right. So that is where I was asking you to take a step back and then see whether you finished level 1, level 2, level 3, and also level 5 of tracking. And then you can think about the tactical execution. See, the thing is, there is no one platform that I can tell you that it is cheap. See, Instagram, YouTube are really working great nowadays. So you can choose between both, or you can choose both. Okay, but still, let's say you run a good campaign, you get good traction over there. Let's say you don't have a value proposition or target audience, you are just targeting everyone. And let's say you don't have a proper content on your site or on your channels, then whatever the engagement that you get, that will evaporate in few days. And then your campaign will stick to only engagement, but that content won't convert into a conversion. So first thing that you need to think about is your value proposition, target audience, and your competitive analysis. Once you do the competitive analysis, you'll find the gap. Once you find the gap, then you know who your target audience are, what is your value. Then if you do the research, you will understand whether Insta or YouTube is your primary platforms. Once you do this work, you'll get a clarity whether to choose Insta or YouTube or any other channel.
Right.
I hope I'm making a little bit sense. I'm happy to dig deeper a little bit as well in it.
Yeah. Rakesh, can I just add one thing to there? Because we were also looking up on channels and I came across something called Mojo. So he might just want to try that. That's slightly cheaper than the other ones. So we haven't placed our
Yes,
content
there are
yet, but I'm
lot of
hearing
shows
that it
that I
is
have seen.
working well.
Yes, right. Let's see. You take any tool, you take any platform, right? If you don't have the basics, it is very tough to sustain in the long run. That is what I'm trying to say to everyone here. That's it. So like once you have these things at place, and then you go and test out different platforms, different activities, definitely you will figure out what is working for you and what is not working for you.
Right. Thanks, Rakesh.
Yeah. So like I was talking about the phased implementation model. So the first 3 months, the first 90 days, I would ask you to establish your core brand assets, the website, the content pillars, the primary channels, everything. The first 90 days, stick to one thing. Then you can start adding now secondary channels. Like let's say you start with Insta, you can add YouTube, or someone said Mojo here, or you can keep on testing different platforms. But that should be in the expansion phase. But if you're not confident with whatever I said as a foundation, if you do this thing, this expansion phase, whatever the testings that you do without having a proper foundation for the brand, it will evaporate. It won't stand, because say most of the trends nowadays barely stand for a month, not even a month, maybe a week, and then you need to go and now hunt for what is the other tactic. So that's never ending. But the foundation is foundation. There is no replacement for that foundation. So my request is to focus on the foundation phase for at least for 90 days. Okay. And then focus 90 days, or how much time you want to take. It doesn't matter. But unless and until you are comfortable with foundation phase, then only you go to expansion phase. First, get comfortable with your foundation phase. Like you have to be, I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking you to be comfortable. There is no such thing as perfect. There is always room to uh, like come up with a new design for the website, come up with more content pillars, come up with anything else. But as long as you feel like, okay, I checked all these boxes, now I can go to the expansion phase. That's where you go and test out multiple channels. See, sometimes few channels might work for you, and then you can never imagine that it is going to work out for you. So I'll tell you, like, one example. It is a very old example that is not relevant today, but I want to tell you one example. I think back in 2016, the Facebook advertisement back then was still evolving, and then Facebook was rolling out a lot of placements. And then on desktop right-hand side, there was one sticky ad Facebook introduced. And like, before launching it, I had no faith in it, but that one campaign turned out to be a great campaign for me at that time. And I was like, I don't know, like, I don't know what to say at that time, because I have, like, I don't even have 1% confidence on that placement that going to work out for me, but still it worked out, right? So I'm just telling you that because, most of the times you will figure out the things in a very, um, dramatic way, in a very surprising way. So that's the reason we should have these basics first. And then in the expansion phase, definitely you can test out different things so that you can discover what is going to work out for you and replicate it and then scale it out. What works for you doesn't mean that it will work for everyone else. So you need to figure out your own secret sauce over there. But before figuring out the secret sauce, you need to have the strong fundamentals, strong foundation. That's foundation phase. Next is the expansion phase. And then the next one is the optimization phase. Now through expansion phase what is working, what is not working. Now you need to focus more on refining your systems and focus on converting more, scaling this up. And finally, that is what I was talking, scaling. Now increase resources for the highest performing channels. And that's where now you can always, and then you don't need to think more about foundation phase. Then it will be like, you will be adding more channels, and then you will be testing more things, and then you will refine your approach. You focus on conversions, and then you will be keep on scaling what is working and what is not working. See, at the end of the day, the approach here will be, number one, like I would say SSK approach. Number one, you have to stop everything that is not working for you. And then number two, since you are in that expansion phase, you need to start new things so that you can keep up with the trends. So stop the things that are not working, start the things that you wanted to start, test out new things, and then keep the things that are working. Don't disturb them. So that's how you have to think once you are done with the foundation phase, expansion phase, optimization phase, and scale phase. Forget about the timelines here. These timelines might be different for every brand, but I just give you a rough timeline for any brand new business. So like start, like stop, start, and keep. That will eventually help you scale this whole model out into the new phases every quarter. So always, like in the foundation phase, don't think about what tactic will work for me, or how can I make more money here. Obviously the end goal is to make more money, to increase the business, but the process is much more important to reach that goal. So that is the reason we need to stick to the process. That is the reason today I'm talking more about the framework, not the tactic. So yeah, you can have a nice chart like this in our foundation phase, what you want to do, like what are the basic audits you can do and all. If you're already running the business, you can start with the complete marketing audit first. Then you can develop the brand positioning, and then you can focus on selecting the channels, and then you can start developing the pillar architectures, then launch the initial campaign, then establish the weekly measurements. That is what I was talking about earlier. Then definitely month 3, you can come up with the channel performances, expanding into the secondary channels. And then once, let's say, Facebook, Instagram, and maybe, if you are into marketplaces, Amazon is working out for you, you can launch all the campaigns at one go, and then you can keep on refining those processes. That is what I was talking about here. The optimization phase, always refine your approach, stop something that is bleeding, start something that you want to start, and then keep the things that are actually working. Do not disturb them. So what are the benefits? That is what I was just talking about. It prevents you from resource dilution across too many channels. At the end of the day, the focus should be there. It's easy. You see, it is always the shiny object syndrome. It is easy to get distracted. We see a reel, we go to another webinar or anything else. We hear some kind of tactics, and then we want to implement them because it worked for XYZ businesses. Now, for us right now, we need to know what we are doing. Absolutely, we should be comfort at that phase. And then once you stick to this approach, you will always have a meaningful data with you rather than a junk data. That will help you to make a decision, and then that leads you to the expansion. And then once you do all these things, the one thing that you achieve is sustainability. So I don't want you to oscillate to high frequency and then fall down to low and then again oscillate. Now that gives you anxiety at the end of the day. Like sustainability is much more important. Yes, now there is no such thing as peace, but sustainability should be there. Sustainability meaning we need to know what we are doing. We need to know what we are tracking. We need to know why something is working and why something is not working. Now, most of us, if something is working, we just don't even analyze that data because it is working, it is giving us the revenue. But even then, we need to know exactly why something is working. And obviously, if something is not working, you will look for answers. Even if something is working, I would advise to look for answers. That will unlock a lot of two things. One is the gaps. Number two is the opportunities to grow. So that's how we can think about how you can implement. So, for example, if I take 1 lakh rupee as your budget, I would say how you have to distribute your budget. So the budget allocation principle, focus 70% of resources on your primary channels. Like let's say you pick Instagram as your primary channel, focus 70% of your budget, like 70,000 on your primary channel, balance the fixed cost so that, even in this 70% is 10% in Instagram, put some for some texting experimentation. And then this money you should be investing in the tool, the other process and everything. I'm considering 1 lakh as overall marketing budget that includes the ad spends. So 70% should go for your tool cost, any content production, videography, photography, and the Instagram advertising. And then the rest 30% is if you're in a foundation phase, right? I would say focus that money more on creating more brand assets, more content creation. Like definitely do the videography, photography very well. Do not compromise on that, because for any end user, the moment of truth for them through marketing is the moment they see your ad, the moment they see your creative, the moment they land on your website. You are not the face. Whatever the photography, videography that you are doing will actually create an impression. That impression will last long, either positive or negative. So, and then if you're an expansion phase, definitely put that 30% of the money allocation to different channel testings. If you're an optimization phase, there you have to focus on conversion optimization. So go back and then see, if you can come up with more tools that helps you to convert the existing traffic, maybe a different landing page, maybe do some kind of there is a friction on the checkout. See if you can invest more on technology to make the process very easy for the user. I'm just giving you examples to think on how to allocate the budget. So I'll reiterate again, focus 70% of the budget on the existing channel, and then the rest 30% based on the phase. If you're in foundation phase, focus more on content. Expansion phase, focus more on new channels. If you're in optimization phase, put more money on converting the existing traffic rather than going behind new traffic. So I'm giving you one thought here, one structure here, so that you know how a structure looks like. You don't need to follow this as is. You can optimize it. You can make it better for your use case. But here, my goal is to give you one thought, one framework, think, so that you can create your own framework tomorrow. So, and make it work for you. But you need to know at least one to start thinking. That's my goal here, to give you at least one to make you understand how to start thinking. Any questions here? Okay, I'm going to the next. So as I said again, it is the same thing. I'm just giving you a little bit more brief. Maybe if you go with 60-40, right? You can put more money on content, technology, analytics, sport team, paying to the agencies. And then the rest 40% you can put money on media, promotion, testings. And then here comes the tactics, right? That is what you were asking me about, the tactic. That's where you should focus on. And then now outsourcing, now I would say initially don't keep everything in-house. Like try to outsource as many things as you can, so that you can get the good professionals at a decent price. And also you have the flexibility to test different things. So uh, like product videography, photography, just outsource it initially so that you don't incur many in-house costs. And then keep in-house whatever the strategy. Don't outsource the strategy. Keep the strategy in-house. Even if you're talking with agencies, you should be involved with them. You need to know what is their thought process. You need to give your inputs, so that at the end of the day, you have absolute clarity on what is the strategy. And like all of you, I would say, every single comment that you get, either on Instagram, Facebook, or on YouTube, or on LinkedIn, I want you to read every single comment and see why they are commenting, and then try to respond to those comments, try to understand. That's where you can unlock many insight. Yes, there might be many trollers out there, meme makers out there. You can ignore them. It is our business. We cannot get too emotional with some of the trolls, but now there might be a lot of genuine comments. So try to get more user behavior insights from those comments. So do not ignore it. Do not outsource it to someone who doesn't understand your business. So, I'll give you a few tactics. What could be the low cost, high impact? I'm talking about the tactics. I'm talking about the tactics now because I already gave you the framework to start with. So the micro influencer collaboration, forget about Instagram or YouTube or anything. If you can do them, if you can partner up with every month the nano and micro influencer who charge less to none, maybe barter system. If you can create a process for this rather than some random collaborations, and if you can do this, on a regular basis, definitely it is going to work out for you. Focus on content creators with few followers, and also the views is really good. Matters a lot. See how good they are doing. If the content is good, not doing any as long as the content that they're creating is healthy, you can collaborate with them. And then lot of this nano micro influencer, they'll just take the product and then they'll create the content for you. So that will be definitely helpful for you. And then the one thing that I would say is create a systematic outreach and management process, so that you have to do it every month. That's the first thing that you can do as a low cost, high impact tactic. And then the second one is content repurposing framework. I touched a little bit on this, but I want to talk about this again. Let's say you create one video, you have to extract at least 10 different pieces from it, and then you have to post it across different channels. Like even Reddit, Quora, a lot of people are asking a lot of questions over there. In Reddit, Quora will give you a lot of insights apart from Google Trends. Google Trends, you can start, but you can get a lot of ideas, not just ideas, you can get a lot of pain points by going through Reddit threads, Quora questions. Go ahead, if you're not actively participating in those two platforms, I would say go sign up for those platforms. As a founder, you have to be very active, understanding the pain points directly from the market. That's a free market research for you. So go install them. That will give you a lot of ideas, and also post your comments over there, and definitely you'll be getting a lot of traction. So I want to repeat it again. Let's say you create a video, you need to convert that into few different pieces, maybe 10 different pieces. And especially you have to focus on Reddit, Quora, LinkedIn, these places where most of the people are talking authentically, putting out their pain points, putting out their positives, negatives, everything. As a founder, that is your job to gain first-hand insights from the market, and it is a free market research. I know there is a cost, which is your time, but that's the best time to spend over your mobile devices. And then the community amplification. So leverage the customer advocacy to extend outreach. This will again go back to the micro influencers. Definitely that will work for you. Like, always see once in a month if you can create a shareable content like recipes or brewing guides or anything else, that one can share to someone else. That's the type of content if you can create, definitely it will work out for you. And then once it is a shareable content, it is definitely and then if that shareable content is shared by one of the influencer, that will get amplified a lot more. Like they can influence you. And if you put maybe 100 rupees a day, boost that post out, just the boosting, that definitely blows up. So that's the low cost, high impact tactic that you can do. And at the end of the day, we all need reviews in the form of text, in the form of video. Always collect it. Since you're all e-commerce, collecting reviews on the website is tough. If you are in Shopify, there are a few apps that are not free, but they are all authorized by Google. One such tool is stamped.io, stamped.io. That's one tool but that is not for free. Look at the pricing. If you can afford, use the tool. Um, that's number one. Number two, here I would say, I know most of you are not feeling good about Amazon, but still I would insist you at least list your products on Amazon and then get the reviews over there from your authentic customers. Forget about the revenue generation over there. It is more of, consider that as a more of a brand building activity for you. A lot of people, even though they come to the website, they go and check on Amazon for reviews and also for for shipping and for support and everything. A lot of D2C brands struggle with the trust factor. That's where these now marketplaces such as Amazon gives you instant trust. So my humble request is to list them over there, check it out by yourself. Consider it as a brand building activity, not as a revenue channel. The way you have to think is different initially. So apart from these three, the fourth one that I want to stress is, I don't know about tier 2, tier 3. I don't have much experience over there, but definitely in tier 1, lot of gated communities arrange uh, weekly, like a small trade shows kind of a thing in their community. Like they will charge somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000. Uh, that's my experience. It might vary based on the city that you are in. Go put your stall over there with your product. Like every gated community, maybe you can get a minimum of 1,000 people looking at your brand there for few hours. Like what you're spending, maybe 3 to 5 grand. Um, and once you put up a stall, you take the same stall to every community. If you do this every week, right? Like let's say 5,000 rupees is your budget per week. That's like a 20,000 rupees. And then in term, like while spending 20,000 rupees, if you put four times, that's like let's say 1,000 members per one show. That's like a 4,000 people you're gonna touch physically, not online. That gives lot of trust over there once you put your product over there. Like, do you gonna do free samples, or you gonna, like, you need to come up with the offer, right? Or even over there. So up to you, like give away free samples or create products at a very low price, maybe 10 rupee packet to test, or a trail packages. Maybe if you have 10 products, put all like maybe now 10 rupees each, maybe 100 rupees. I'm just giving you some examples. Do this, right? That is a low cost, high impact, and then ask them to follow you, like put a QR code to follow you in Instagram, and also collect their mobile numbers and email addresses if you are giving away something. Don't give away just for free. Like collect all these mobile numbers and email addresses. That's the first party data that you're gonna hold. So that definitely helps you. These are the 4 things. I did not put the 4th thing here, but that's the 4th thing that I want to verbally highlight. Any questions here? Yeah, someone asked me what would be the cheapest tactic. I would say these 4 are the cheapest tactics that you can think of. You don't need to do all 4. You can start with 1.
Mr. Rakesh, it was wonderful. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
What
Yes, sir.
what was running in my mind was for a startup and to bridge the gap of resources, can it be seasonal campaign or seasonal thing, or it has to be continuous? Because I may not be able to fulfill if there is a boom on the inquiries and you know the sales. So how do we address
See,
this?
input has to be, yeah, understood. See, input has to be consistent. Okay. Like there might be seasonal and then your content will change as per the season. But at this point, there is no question of whether we need to post every day. You have to post every day. Like you need to consistently be on these platforms. If not, algorithms will pick some other brand that is posting consistently. So consistency is the key. You can pick the topic based on the season. Like you can come up with maybe 6 different, like every 2 months. You can keep on changing the topics, or you can keep on changing the type of the content, but you have to be consistent. Did that answer your question, or am I completely off?
No, it has answered my question. My point was, if I am not able to produce that much of demand, then whole exercise goes for a toss. So that was my worry.
No. Okay, the thought process. Okay, let me ask you one more question. Now, like if the content that you are posting now, if you are asking me if that doesn't convert into sales, then it is a waste of efforts.
No problem.
Is that your question?
No, it is the other way.
If you are getting more sales,
yeah, more boom because of the campaign, and I'm not able to fulfill it, the demand supply gap.
okay, got it. That's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, that is a good problem, but I may not be able to scale up to
Yes.
that level immediately.
Yeah. Okay, got it. See, even then, like you can post the content that doesn't push the users to buy, but just to keep the users engaged. Maybe you can come up with the top of the funnel, just awareness campaign or some trendy, not a campaign, trendy content. You can reduce the frequency, maybe a little bit, but you have to be there, because at the end of the day, these algorithms doesn't understand whether you're getting more orders or less orders. These algorithms understand only like why does YouTube or Instagram show your content to someone else? Because they are making money out of it.
True.
If you reduce the content from your side even for a good reason, algorithm doesn't think that it is for a good reason.
Understand.
So
I understand.
You have to.
Visibility is the main factor. Like Fevicol earlier days had the visibility drive.
Yes.
That
So the only thing is that earlier days, we used to throw to mass markets. Right now, thanks to these algorithms, still it is a broader audience, but we know to like whom we are targeting. That's it. There is still the madness, but there is a method to this madness.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. It's a good question. Any other questions? Okay, I'm jumping onto the channel. This is like I want to wrap this up. So I know I was talking about the channels, right? Like I just see. I told you this. It is just again. I'm putting this here. I thought you just wanted to see it again. So let me show this to you as a graph, right? Like if you put 2x2 matrix like this, you can actually write them like this, like email. You can put it like okay, email might be high impact. It can be a low resource, right? To send out an email, you don't need a big team. You can send it out by yourself. WhatsApp also high impact, but low resource. You can do the WhatsApp engagement every day. Putting up a post on WhatsApp status doesn't take much time, but still it drives a lot of engagement. But on the other hand, Instagram, YouTube, now it is also high impact, but still you need a good team now, like, like the resources are high. And then on the other hand, LinkedIn, B2B opportunities. See, LinkedIn doesn't give you the impact the way Instagram and YouTube does, because it is B2B, it takes a lot of time. But still, even on LinkedIn, if you can keep on just writing a post, still that is a low resource unless you want to do a great video production. And nowadays, Facebook is falling into more of a low impact. It is not giving that impact. But for some specific audiences, Facebook is still giving high impact. So even for your business, you can have this potential impact and resource requirements matrix 2 by 2. High impact, low resource, high impact, high resource, low impact, high resource, low impact, low resource. You can put them like this so that visually you can see what to use and what not to use. See, at the end of the day, if you can see something visually, in your brain, you can process it much better. You will get more clarity. More clarity leads to good decision making. Good decision making leads to good optimization of your time, money, and the teams, the resources. So how to select your primary channel? I will give you one example. 5 criteria. Number 1 is audience. So you need to know where your audiences are. Number 2, you need to see even where the competition is. And then number 3, some people are very good on camera. Some people are not good on camera. So for example, so you need to understand what kind of content you can create, what is your strength. And then you need to see the resource requirements as well. Like if you have to do a video shoot, some people I have seen, they will easily do by opening up their front camera on the phone. They are very easily create the content. For them, it doesn't cost much. And then for some people I have seen, there has to be a couple of people around them now with good camera, training them, then only they can do it. So it's up to you, but you need to evaluate how you can do this. And then at the end of the day, it has to align with your business objective. So these are the 5 things, 5 criteria to evaluate which channel to use, right? So for example, audience, competition, format, fit, and resources, the channel. So here, if you put Instagram as a channel, and then let's say if it is a high audience, let's say if it is a medium competition, let's say you can you can do the content on Instagram, and then let's say if it is a medium resources for you, so maybe you can choose Instagram, right? So like that, you need to put all of your channels. You need to write high, low, medium for these 4: audience, competition, format, fit, and resources. Definitely looking at this, you will understand where to start or what not to start as well. Sometimes we feel like we have to do a few things, but we cannot do. So we need to get that awareness. In order to get that awareness, if you put them like this, definitely you will be able to see by yourself again visually, so that you can make the decisions better. So channel recommendations for coffee businesses, I would say WhatsApp is must nowadays. I think for most of the businesses, even for coffee business. So it doesn't matter whether it's a B2B, B2C, always broadcast the things, always put the status every single day. WhatsApp is a free tool that gives you good attention. That also works as the customer support, and then you can create that reputation management as well over there. And then the next is Instagram and YouTube, as I said, because they are both of them are trending with a lot of attention right now. And if you are in a B2B side, definitely LinkedIn is the other one that I would recommend. But a couple of slides back, I gave you the high impact, low cost strategies of micro influencer collaboration, the content distribution, and also told you if you're in tier 1, even for tier 2, figure out communities. Now the gated communities, you can put your stall over there for few bucks. So what are the emerging opportunities as of now, right? So vernacular content, if you are catering to certain section, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Odia, Hindi. So if you can, maybe if your target audience are concentrated more, definitely try to create the content for them. in that language, definitely, it will gain more attention. Nowadays, with an affordable internet, lot of people, tier 2, tier 3, even villages, lot of people are consuming content on YouTube. See, even my parents watch YouTube a lot than the regular TV nowadays. I was I was surprised looking at the ease that they adapted watching the YouTube videos. So definitely, you should be thinking about vernacular content if we haven't thought about it yet. Short form videos like vernacular content plus short form could be a great killer for you. And then the voice search optimization. Why I said that? Because lot of people, even my parents, I saw them searching on YouTube. Not on They don't know what Google is, but they know what YouTube is, and then they know the search functionality on YouTube, right? So definitely do your research on these YouTube channels. Even though you don't use YouTube, go to YouTube, see the content that you are trying to produce, see the competition, how they created the videos, what kind of tags that they are using, do all that research, and then try to include that. And then community based. As I said, community based is a broad term. Definitely, you should be trying to always try look for the opportunities to engage with any kind of community. For example, you came to webinar today, you spent more than an hour today. So that is great, right? So try to put your products into these communities. Doesn't matter the size of that audience. If you can invest your time, definitely you will make an impact, and you don't need crores of orders on day one. As you said, you might not even fulfill. Maybe, start small, make an impact, but a good impact, so that you will get a loyal, repeatable customers. That's the opportunities that you can think of. So content pillar architecture, I'll just quickly walk you through here. Like core content team will be like this, bean to cup journey, you can write a blog, you can go with infographics, or if it is a coffee lifestyle, you can put more of a social post, right? It's the ethics content, you can more push it to our existing users through email, the stories, and then more of a, now if you come up with a flavor profiles, pairings, right? Which goes with what, most of them are not even aware of these things. So that's where you can put more of the videos and the photos. This is just an example on how to think, where to distribute, how to think of the content type based on the themes. So if we can think of all these things, even before thinking of promotions, if we can come up with all these things and then follow the 5 steps that I said. Number 1 is the foundations. Foundation is with the positioning that gives you the brand story. Number 2 is the channel optimization. Focus on one thing first. Based on the channel that you set, you need to create the content for that platform first. And number 4, then you can think of promoting the content on that particular channel. And number 5 is measuring the tracking part, which is absolutely the best. The best thing that you can do for yourself is tracking everything. So, like, again, it is, whatever I said, it is just reinforcing here. That's it. It is not a new thing. But I'm repeating few things if you notice, because I want you to register this in your mind. There are few content pieces I'm repeating in a different format. Maybe if one format, if you didn't get it, I'm hoping that you will get it in a different format. That's it. So example can be 10-minute brewing tutorial video that you can do. Like out of this, you can create 60-second reels. Out of 10-minute, maybe you can create 5, 10, 60-second reels, and then how to do it, right? So that is a step-by-step process. You can create the photos, create a slideshow, create a infographic, and then from there, out of this creating 10 steps, you can come up with different quotation. And then obviously that can go as a blog. You can repurpose this as an email/WhatsApp. And then obviously, your how-to video, definitely you need to have a checklist, right? Like you need to have certain kind of beans, you need to have a certain kind of milk, certain kind of sugar, or whatever it is. So this is just an example. This is how you can think. This is how you can start working. So finally, there are a few things that I thought of. You can come up with more things. One is the bean to cup that I spoke about earlier, like showcasing the origins, the production, the processing. The second one is more of a cultural lifestyle thing that we see in Starbucks and all. Daily rituals where you can put on Pinterest, Reels and all. And then the third one, important one, brewing techniques. Most of them don't know. So if you can create the content around them, a lot of people will see it. And then the sustainability and ethics, someone was talking about reducing the waste here. So you can really double down on the responsible practices and impact content over there. And then obviously the flavor profiles and pairing, lot of them don't even have the basic knowledge on the pairings. So if you can talk about it, definitely that's a good team that you can pick. Finally, the community and the people, like, if you can feature, I don't know how many of you are comfortable, but those who are comfortable, you can feature everyone in the supply chain, right? From the farm to someone who is bringing that whole material to the city, and then the whole story, if you can post it out and then tell them now how how this whole story, and then how many people are getting impacted in that whole process, that will actually create a lot of impact on the end user. So that you're giving them directly a purpose of now why I have to buy this coffee from you. Even if they don't like it, someone might buy it because now they know the impact that you're creating and they want to be a part of it. So these are just the examples that I'm giving you here. You can come up with such more examples, but having them in a structural format is much more important. So your 90-day action plan is month 1, audit the positioning, whatever the primary channel is, the framework that I told you, like the content creation, the campaign launch, measurement. So this month 1, month 2, and then performance evaluation, channel expansion. This is all the framework, 5 steps, 90 days. If you do it from the 91st day, you will have more clarity, you will have more confidence. So you will get confidence with clarity. And if you focus on it, you'll definitely able to, achieve your business objectives. So obviously you need to be active weekly. You need to actively balance the strategic and tactical activities. You need to adapt. You need to figure out the resource allocations. You will figure it out once you have this in mind. So this is just more of a same thing. I gave you a little bit more in depth here. So this is where I end my talk. I'm happy to answer your questions.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
It was good presentation, but one thing we are facing basically is the price concern. Uh, so how to compete the price in the market so it moves smoothly in the market, because the price that people think twice or thrice before purchasing the products.
Yes. Good question. I'll tell you a couple of things. So I don't know your product, I don't know your quality, I don't know your positioning. So without knowing all these things,
Product is coffee beans only. Yeah, the product is green coffee, roasted coffee beans, instant coffees in that freeze-dried spirited agglomerated. It's all about
okay, got it. See, you can think in a couple of different ways. Number one, you can create the least friction entry product. One product that your brand, maybe you can think of just not making much profits, but a user can easily buy one product so that you can gain one new customer and then upsell whatever it is. That's one angle to think of. Number two, I was talking about the content teams over there. If you create a purpose for the end user to buy a product from you, then they don't think about much of the price. Definitely, yes, they will think, but still there will be a strong connection because of the content that you are posting over there. So the only way is to convince the user through your content, because you cannot meet face to face everyone. Your brand has to speak for itself. That will get achieved through the content, and you should cleverly choose the themes. If you choose the themes, and then if you are able to make an impact with these themes, create the content, definitely you will be able to attract the end user. And obviously, as I said again, my first point, create one product at a affordable price, or whatever the price that you think that can break the barrier of the friction. Uh, do that as well. Come up with one new SKU. Definitely that will help you to at least gain the first step of these users. These are the two things I would say on a very high level to think of. Any follow-up on it?
Thank you, yes, sir. Can
Yeah.
we
Any
get
other
your presentation
questions?
also? Can we get your presentation also, please?
You can talk with the organizers regarding that. You can
Okay.
follow up with that.
And can we have your number also?
Yes. I think the organizers will share my details as well with you.
Yes, sir. By the end of today's session, whoever participants have attended today's webinar will receive the PPT from Rakesh sir, and then we'll be sharing it with the participants. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, you will definitely get it. I'm happy to answer more questions.
Thank you, Rakesh. It was a wonderful section for a startup beginners. It was very insightful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. I know I took more time than allotted to me, but I'm kind of a guy who plays more of a test cricket than 2020, so I like to spend a little bit more time. Um, I hope you all got at least few insights, at least the structure to think.
It has given a path to move forward, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any question?
Rakesh, I have a question. Okay, I mean, we understand that digital marketing, social media marketing, the role it plays in today's world, today's kind of at this time. But are there any other channels or marketing methods apart from this social media? Let's keep this aside and think out of the box. Are there any other ways we can exhibit and present your product? Let's say trade fairs, or are there any other things? It's still a gray
Yeah,
area
that's
for
what
me.
I told you, right? One out of the box that I suggested was figure out the gated community engagement. So
Apartments,
that
right?
right, apartments, I told you specifically gated communities because they can afford these kind of products. You will get that kind of a crowd, and then the cost to set up your booth over there is around maybe 3,000, 5,000 rupees. It doesn't cost you much, and then you will get 3-4 hours of attention. And then if you do it repeatedly, like even now, definitely you will make an impact, like on a micro level. Forget about all the other things. There you will be shaking the hands with everyone. I'm not
Yeah,
asking you to go to
brand
the
connect will be
high level
stronger.
trade shows, right? The high level
Right.
trade shows will cost you lakhs. I'm not asking you to go there. I'm asking you to go directly to the end
Yeah,
customer
they
and
play
then
the micro
make a
levels.
handshake. Micro level impact, very micro level impact. See, even over there, right? Most of the people see your brand name, they go to Google search, go to YouTube or go to Instagram, they see your brand over there. Still,
Correct.
you should have the content part. Without that content part, they will suspect. I won't say suspect. The trust factor would be in
Won't
a
be
very
there.
gray area at that point.
Yeah, we
Still,
always
you should
relate
have it.
to the offline to the online world. It's always that sync is always there.
Yes, exactly. We shouldn't be thinking offline versus online. We should be thinking like an offline and online, right? Then all of your efforts will get synergized. Then you will be definitely able to make an impact.
True. Yeah. Yeah, Rakesh,
See
it
what
was wonderful. Yeah, the
makes
presentation,
sense, right?
insights. Yes, definitely.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else? Any other question?
Dear participants, do we have any further questions?
Yeah, I have one question, Rakesh. Let's say now for Insta, video becomes a key, right? The key element to capture the audience. And most of the times, the businessmen, the entrepreneurs may not have an idea how to create a video. You have to kind of direct it, no? You have to have a stage and direct it properly. So, how much do these companies charge basically to make content video or something like that? Is it like piece wise, or you have an
Yeah,
idea?
most of them would like, if you hire a team, see, now everyone has their own way, but most popular ways are if you have a team, let's say, you can hire them for a day, one full day.
Okay.
And then it doesn't
Mhm.
matter if you can create a content for 10 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours. It depends on you
Brilliant.
in front of the camera. And then they will charge again for the editing. And then the charges for editing will be mostly on per minute basis. And some of them, you can work it out on a package basis as well. But I would say just hire them on a package basis for a full day, so that your brain works. At one point you will say, like, I'm spending money, I have to talk something. So
Mhm.
you will talk. Like, if not, what I would suggest is, instead of hiring anyone else, camera and all, put your phone camera, or at least open your laptop, open up any tools like, Google Meet or Zoom, uh, like put your face in front over there and then talk about anything, and then play by yourself and then see how well you are in front of the camera, and without looking at the script, right? And then let's say if you need a script, you can use a teleprompter, definitely. But while you are using a teleprompter, one thing that you need to be aware of, you shouldn't sound like you're reading some kind of
Reading it.
thing, looking at a screen. Your body language, your way of narration, you should practice it. You should use the teleprompter just as a reference, not as a reading material. Um, so I would say it's all about practice. I'm telling you this with my personal experience. Even I'm not great at camera, even though I speak at many events. You know, I'm happy talking with you like this. I'm at very ease. But if I put myself in front of the camera, I'll become freeze.
Yeah, you're
That used, yeah, I'll be more conscious about myself and the way I'm talking. So even that was a problem for me as well. But now, I practiced a lot. Now I'm able to do, at least I'm able to stand in front of the camera with little bit easy. So I'm telling you this with my personal experience. I'm not giving you some theoretical answer, but this worked for me. So I'm asking you to do that and then see if it works for you as well.
right. Yeah. Thanks, Rakesh.
All good. Yeah, so I see a lot of people are here. Any other questions, or at least give me a feedback so that I'll understand how you got it. Yeah, someone raised the hand here, Mr. A. I don't know the name, it just says A.
Mr. Rakesh Reddy.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Very nice presentation and very high principles. I would like to ask only one small question, sir. 90% of the coffee farmers are very small farmers, but the principles seems to be very good. How the small farmers can make an access to the model you are suggesting, sir?
See, here, like if you say they are very small, I would say again, one thing over there, just the video content. That's the best way to put the story out there. It doesn't matter how good or bad the content is, start from there. And then over a period of time, you'll get better at it. Because they are small, they are authentic. All the content that you're going to produce is authentic. It is not some kind of content where you are shooting it in studio rooms. We will be shooting that in the farms with all the people who are working over there. And then even if they talk for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, a minute, that would create an authentic story around them. You don't need to have a great post editing and all. You can just do the basic editing and then you can post it out. Start from there. Don't spend much money, but there will be a lot of efforts in terms of time. That's what I would recommend.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Rakesh, sir, thank you so much for this insightful session. As we are running short of time, if there are any further questions, please feel free to drop an email to us. We'll again be forwarding it to Rakesh, sir and Chakri, sir. And with that, now I would like to formally conclude this session with a vote of thanks. A very good evening,
Thank you.
everyone. We extend our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Chakrapani Anumula, founder, IDEN SEO, and Mr. Rakesh Reddy, co-founder of Orange Carrot, for the insightful session on Market Access webinar series. On behalf of AIC-CCRI-CED, we appreciate your expertise and enthusiasm on the topic strategic frameworks for developing a lean digital marketing plan. Your valuable contributions are greatly appreciated, and we look forward to future collaborations. A special thanks to all the participants for your active engagement and insightful questions. Thank you all.
Thanks, Vaishnavi. So I want to thanks to all participants and leverage the AI tools, leverage student interns. So yeah. Thanks for everyone.
Yeah, thank the coffee board for arranging this. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yes, sir, you're welcome. Thank you, Chakri sir. Thank you, Rakesh sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Vaishnavi.
Praveen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I just only one request. There is a feedback form. Please fill out the feedback form. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, Vaishnavi. Bye. Bye, Rakesh. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you.